just want to say thank you for bringing the MrBeast workplace environment to the surface. I used to date Blank, who now works there, and I've heard horror stories from what he's told me about how toxic that place is.
This is a while back, and he's describing the exact experience he's coming out with.
I would be putting everything on the line.
I think when this comes out, MrBeast will have to say something. I know it's rude to wear a hat indoors. I've just got bed hair. So, this story has been thrown on my desk, so to speak, of MrBeast's former editor named Turner. Turner claimed he used to work for MrBeast, and he put out a series of tweets. The allegations against MrBeast are bad. Like, these aren't good allegations to have at all. He tweeted out saying, "I'm not going to make a video about my time editing for MrBeast. I will say that was the most mentally draining time of my life. I was yelled at, bullied, called mentally retarded and replaceable by MrBeast every day. Being in tears and having mental breakdowns day after day is difficult, and after a while became too much. After every editing mistake I made, I was made to feel like an absolute idiot, even if the content wasn't real. No credit was given unless a video I edited got credited to someone else. Editors were told if we were ever to leave the team, we shouldn't be set up for success after. So no credit will be given, ideas would be taken, people would be baited into the team, and I would be screamed at and then told I just misinterpreted what I heard by his impossible to please momager, alright, mum manager, right. But it's impossible to please mum manager, I'm guessing that's what it means. We'd be forced to re-sign NDAs and then told these were our glory days. So that's a summary of almost every day on the team. That's what it was like to work for MrBeast, and that is why I don't work there now. Thanks for tuning in." These are some crazy allegations that I hope aren't true. I know MrBeast personally. I know what he's like. He's always been a lovely guy to me. I like MrBeast a lot. This Turner guy has come out of the woodwork now. It's got 1,000 likes, so it's not blown up yet. The situation has not blown up. However, I want to get ahead of it before the story heats up too much and really just dive into research, contact MrBeast, and to see what we can get out of this, because something doesn't add up here at all, like at all. I'm gonna get to work and start looking and see what I can find. Now for the part of the job that people like I'm Alex don't do and don't like: researching and actually looking into the case before jumping into conclusions. I'm gonna look some things up, go through the case right now, and then after I feel like I've got enough evidence and stuff, that's when I'll come back. Researching scumbags really gives you an appetite, promise you now. I'm loving it. I'm not even sponsored by McDonald's.
Aren't long-term in this, because I was planning on either moving to... Hey man, I know this is kind of random, or it might seem random because you moved down here. We really just want people who are going to be in here for the long term.
I've done quite a fair bit of research into this guy who's accusing MrBeast. He definitely did edit for him. Like, I think that was without a doubt now. I've hit him up for an interview, and that would be big because I've discovered some things about him that just completely don't add up, and I really think we need to hear his side of the story and see and press him on some actual hard questions that I've basically found some things about him that I think I need to tell you guys before we jump into any sort of, you know, if he accepts this interview anyway, before we jump into that, I have some things I need to show. Alright, it's raining like crazy outside, so I turn my light on. So we found out a few things so far about MrBeast's editor, or old editor, but just don't make sense in terms of the story he's already given us. First of all, this video has surfaced of him actually talking about why he's left and his experience with MrBeast, and the treatment MrBeast gave him that he said in this video is nothing It's the complete opposite of what he said in his tweets. Just have a listen.
It was Mr. Beast and the manager and then me. So basically just like them two on one side, me on another side. He basically just said, hey man, I know this is kind of random, or it might seem random because you moved down here from so far away. And they said, hey, basically we realized that you aren't long-term in this, because I was planning on either moving to Los Angeles, backpacking across Asia, which I'm gonna do, or go to college in the fall. At the time I wasn't sure, but I was gonna do one of those three things in the fall. And they basically just said, we really just want people who are gonna be in here for the long term. And you have other aspirations, we can see that, and we know that's what you should be focusing on, not just this other channel if you really want to do other things. That's fair. I mean, they wanted people who are gonna be there for the long term, and I was working as hard as I could every single day that I showed up to those offices, and they told me that they admired like my work ethic, everything was good about what I did, and I really didn't do anything wrong. It was just that they wanted people who would be there for the long run. So they asked me my final decision if I still plan on doing other things in the fall, and I was like yes, and they were like, well, because of that we're gonna let you go. So it was basically mutual. They asked me, are you still gonna do this? And I was like yes, and they were like, all right, but you know this is what we're gonna say. We're gonna say you're gonna be let go if you answer yes. And I was like, yes. You know what I'm saying? If that didn't make sense, then that's pretty understandable. However, they did say some other things which were so kind of them. So what they did right after that, after they let me go, they said, all right, so we pay for the apartment that you live in right now down the road with other people. I lived with a kid named Eric, who was the other videographer for MrBeast, and they said, who also, by the way, MrBeast paid for my rent every month when I lived in North Carolina. And he said, all right, you can live here as long as you want. You can literally stay in this like pretty expensive apartment just until you feel comfortable leaving. Don't feel like you're in a rush. Stay as long as you want. Stay for months if you want to. It doesn't matter to us. And he was willing to pay my rent and let me live in that apartment, which I did move out of pretty quickly. However, I had the option to stay there for a long time, which is so insane to let him do. They're still paying me right now. I'm still technically working. I'm not gonna give like any numbers or anything. They said we're still gonna pay you for a while, and that is basically funding my trip to backpack across Asia, which is so insane.
So what we've just watched, compared to the tweets we saw earlier today, MrBeast paid for his rent while he worked for him, even though they left and he quit due to mutual, mutual understanding. MrBeast continued to pay for his rent and even is continuing to pay him, which is funding him backpacking across Asia. I'm confused. Where in this does he... And he keeps saying how kind it was of MrBeast and how insane it is that he's paying for all of this. That doesn't sound like an employer who treats you horribly. That doesn't sound like someone who was tormenting you. He claims he was yelled at, bullied, called mentally retarded and replaceable by MrBeast every day. Yet from his own mouth, MrBeast asked him a few times and gave him a few chances to take the job and reconsider. He claimed that if we ever leave the team, we shouldn't be set up for success after, so no credit will be given. But MrBeast offered to pay for your rent after you left and is still paying you after you left, which would help you succeed in whatever you wanted to do. So that tweet right now makes no sense to me at all. And that's not the only thing. In this video, underneath the comment, someone commented, that's actually very thoughtful and caring on their part. He replied to that comment with, right, gotta love him. Someone else commented, okay, still think Beast was good about it though, and you didn't quit, but they seemed awesome about that. Which she replied, yeah, it was all good on each end. Again, 6 months ago. Then I found a tweet from Turner himself to Keemstar, April 2018, where he's defending MrBeast, saying, as the guy who MrBeast hired instead of Fly, and the person who Fly talked about in his video, I can state that MrBeast treats everyone on his team, including me, with high amounts of respect. It is a super high energy work environment. To be honest, never had a better job. All this information now makes Turner sound like a liar. He's gone from MrBeast was the best. He employed me, he paid for my rent, he even paid me after I left the job. The work environment was amazing. He's very respectful to, yeah, now MrBeast bullied me every day, called me replaceable every day. How does that work? How on earth does that work? Please, please, just give me an interview with this guy. Let me question him, please. I want this interview so bad. I've messaged him already. He's already been messaged. If we get this interview, I could grab him and question him about all this. and understand why he did what he did, because at the moment the contradictions are insane. I've never seen contradictions like this in a story for a long time. I did in fact hit up MrBeast. MrBeast says he wants to stay out of the drama. He said it speaks for itself, all the screenshots and everything that's come out. I've talked to MrBeast and shown him the screenshots and everything I found. He said he wants to let that speak for itself, like it's clear enough that this guy is lying in his eyes. All that's left to do is to wait and hope Turner gets back to me for an interview. So, to my delight, Turner has in fact accepted my interview request. He's down to do an interview. I'm excited, man, because we know a lot of things now. It pays off. I know and understand now. Turner, he's gone back and forth. He's flip-flopped like crazy, and he's down for an interview tomorrow. Oh, yes. I'm very excited. I just can't wait to interview and actually talk to him, see what he has to say, his side of the story as well. But so far, my instincts are really telling me that this guy is lying. He's even tweeted out saying he's coming on my show. What's he doing? But yeah, he has confirmed it himself. He's coming on. So now, if he doesn't turn up, if he's a no-show, Matt, we know that he has something to hide, for sure. Yeah, tomorrow, man, I'm excited. I want to get some rest. Tomorrow's a new day. Tasty. I'm DMing. I'm in talks with MrBeast right now. Just trying to get to the bottom of this. Better way to get woken up than DMs from MrBeast, you know? Currently just waiting for him to come to the interview now. Confirmed he wants to interview. He's confirmed he's ready. There's nothing I can do now. I just have to wait. He said he was ready, and then he said he wasn't ready. Still waiting. Oh, I'm tired. It's been about, I'd say 45 minutes since he said he was going to be ready, and we're still waiting. Found another comment he left, another reply he left on his video. Someone said, so that means MrBeast is really kind. I wish MrBeast was my dad or a sibling. In which Turner replied, he's a good guy for sure. This guy just can't keep his story straight. He has just absolutely showered MrBeast in compliments about how he's his amazing employer, and now he's coming out the woodwork saying all this. I'm still waiting for an interview. He says, it'll be a little bit, man. The last hour's the most open block of time. Bro, you said you could interview me like an hour ago now. I'm so bored. Oof, fuck. I'm dizzy. I've actually just been waiting here. I've done nothing else. So, finally, he's booting up his laptop. He is here. I've waited. It's 8:30. I've been waiting since 4:30 or something. I've been waiting for ages. I've been waiting too long. I'm not happy.
All right, is this like a good angle? I feel like it's not that bad.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, bet. I'm down to start this, man.
Same. I'm ready right now. I'm rolling, so.
Oh, all right, for sure. Cool. Awesome. I'm down to answer any questions about the situation, like at all. There's like nothing that I won't answer, so for sure.
Cool. I appreciate the honesty. First of all, I've kind of gone through explaining the allegations at the moment against MrBeast from you, right? So you accused him of bullying. He called you mentally retarded. Says you're replaceable every day. I want to run down of like more specifics to do with that.
So the bullying, I would say, goes hand in hand. Times where he would call me like mentally retarded and stuff like this. And so to just get into specifics, like, yeah, that would totally make sense to get into. One specific that I talked about in the video I made that I'm going to wait till this goes up to upload that. Okay. So kind of up at the same time. So there was one video where we were recording. It was, what we were doing was, it was like donating $500,000 to just anyone. It was like a compilation video where every single time he'd ever given money, it was like a compilation of every clip. In the corner, it like adds up as he gives it away, and it would at the end equal $500,000. It's on his now, you can see it. It's pretty old, probably year-ish, I don't know, something like that. And so he was like, hey, one like Monday morning, he told me the project, and that was the project that he wanted me to work on. So he's like, hey, this is what you're gonna do. I want you to get every single clip where I've ever given away money, add it up, and then it'll equal 500K. Now off of the bat, I was like, the only thing about this, and this is cool, I'm down to edit this video, but you're strictly going off of titles to equal 500K. Now, obviously, as everyone knows, YouTubers clickbait, and that's not even pinning anyone up against a wall. That's just saying YouTubers clickbait. You give away $7,000. You might just title it giving away $10,000. That's really just what happens. Everyone knows this by now. So I was like, you're going off titles. And so if you literally want me to add every time you've given away money, you're not going to get to $500,000. It's just, I'm telling this before we even talk anymore about the video. And he's like, nah, man, I've done the math. Trust me, you're good. I'm like, okay, like, I'm not going to argue about it, whatever. Like, I know what'll happen, so I'll just wait. So about 8 hours passes. It's the end of the workday. I'm like, hey, man, I added all these things up and we're at 410,000. So I knew this would happen. And he's like, nah, you probably just did it wrong. And I'm like, I mean, maybe I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Another day goes by. I do the same thing. And he's like, oh my bad. He's like, nah, bro, I don't see how you don't understand this. And I'm arguing like the counterpoint. I'm like, I don't understand what you don't understand. You're the YouTuber here. I'm just editing videos. You haven't done what you said you're doing. And so this would keep going on to the point where he would start deleting the project file, which is, if you've seen like the Optimus video, that's one of like the most viewed videos on the topic, where he's like, this makes no sense. Why the fuck would he delete one of your project files? That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make sense. He'd say right in front of me and just start deleting project file and say, you know what, just restart. And by like the 5th day, this would get super annoying. This is a whole week wasted. I know this. And while people are probably going to speculate this to say, this makes sense, that's why it's so frustrating, because time could be better spent on literally doing anything besides fucking with my head at this point. So 5, I'm like, dude, like, please don't delete this again. Just like figure out the fact that like what I've told you this whole week is really what's going on. Everyone in the office was on my side with this, but no one wanted to speak out because MrBeast is very intimidating to go against, because pretty close-minded about stuff like this. So it came to the point where he, again, deleted the project file. I was like, dude, like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, you don't understand how office is making me. He's like, you know what? It's probably just easier to restart anyway. I'm like, holy shit, I'm going to go insane. So at that point, I'm like, dude, I'm going to just take a walk. I need like 5 minutes. I've been locked in a room with no windows and nothing, doing this 8 hours a day, every single day, the whole week. And it's Friday, and he's starting to tell me to come in on a Saturday to do it. I'm like, dude, you're me. I go take a walk, and I walk into like 10 seconds away. There's another room. My friend works there. His name was Eric at the time. And then I was like, dude, you do not understand how off I'm getting. He's like, dude, everyone sees what's happening. Like, this is understandable that you're pissed off. I would be too. Everyone feels bad, but we can't do anything. And then meanwhile, Jimmy hears me talking about how aggravated I'm getting. He like busts down this door. He's like, you mental fuck retard. If you don't get in this room right now, I swear to God, how many times do I have to tell you to edit this video? You're so fucking stupid, you're retarded. And he goes off on me in front of people.
So there's witnesses for this.
Yeah, there's a witness. Eric was the one in the room. He literally, this happened. And then I was like, dude, after like using all my creative energy for a week straight, 40 hours on making this video, I'm in the right, I know, because I know what's going on. And then being screamed at, called a retard. Dude, I'm about to have a mental breakdown. Understandably, I feel like anyone would. Then MrBeast leaves like 20 minutes later after fucking slamming the door and shutting me in the room that I was editing in. Then I go up to his mom, manager, that's what I'm calling her, like a momager. And so mom manager, I go up and I was like, this is totally inappropriate. This literally makes no sense. And I feel like I'm like getting like harassed over this video. Like, it makes no sense. And she goes, you know, honestly, I think you just misheard him. That doesn't sound like him. And I'm like, you're f***ing me. Like, so first of all, I'm getting treated like shit. The manager doesn't even believe it. And she's obviously biased. It's her kid. So I can't be like, your son's a dick. Like, I don't know what to tell you. So I can't do anything. So obviously I'm mentally drained. And again, I just have to keep doing the video and keep doing the video until he finally gets it. It's like, you know what? Okay. I'll just record an outro saying I did a bunch of charity that I didn't put on screen and then make it.
Not every time I do something good, I put it on camera. Like when I bought my little sister a car, you know, of course I'm not gonna use her as clickbait and like tons of other stuff. You know, the point is like, not every time I do something good, I put it online.
I'm like, dude, you've done that for my first day, but sure.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so that's one example of me being screamed at, called retarded over and over again, getting like shut in a room.
Is that the only time it happened? Like,
No, it would definitely happen a lot. Times like other specific times, there'd be a bunch of people there. I don't even know the specifics, but there'd probably be like 5 people in the room, people who would still work there. And there was this one video where we got this new camera. We upgraded from like a Canon to a Sony A7R Mark III. And we were recording this video of like going on college campuses and like flipping a coin. And if they guess what it flips on, then they'll win like $100 and they can keep doing it and like doubling their money.
okay.
So before we go, he's like, hey, I want you to make sure you do a lot of like pop zooms type, you know what I mean? So like zoom in on people's face, like for comedic effect, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he was like, do that. I'm like, okay, for sure. So I increased that by probably like 25%. I do a bunch of those. We get back, he watches the video. He's like, are you retarded? This is disgusting. I'm like, okay, like I don't know what you want then, because I did exactly what you said. And then he was like, you fucking retard, bro. Like I swear to God. And obviously, like I don't have proof of these things because it's not like it was going to be said before it was said. Like I couldn't just start recording in case he said something.
Yeah.
And instances like that,
Okay.
this is instances I've been running with and I've been saying, so nothing's like changing.
So would you say like throughout from the start of the time you've worked with MrBeast till like now it's all come out, you just didn't enjoy working there?
Yeah, I mean, from the start, it was like that. Maybe like a weekend.
So moving this along, I've been looking into this all day. I've been really trying to get a grasp on everyone's point of view. I want to give you a few questions back to you. First of all, you probably already expect this, the video you made about why you left MrBeast, the initial video you made, right? So you describe MrBeast in this amazing light. You kind of talk about how kind he was, how he paid rent for you, even after like you left, he offered to pay rent for you. And on top of that, you know, I think it was at severance, you know, to get your backpacking to Asia. It's kind of like a severance pay, right? He paid you after you left. So to allow you to backpack to Asia, whatever it was you were going to do at the time after you left MrBeast. And in your tweet, you kind of claim that he didn't want anyone to succeed if they left the team, right? They left MrBeast gang. He kind of didn't want that. He didn't want people to succeed out of that. That's why we want credit editors and all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
So like, in my mind, I hear this from you initially, and it doesn't sound like the picture you're painting of MrBeast already. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%. This is definitely something that I want to.
Yeah, he sounds like he's really supported you after you've left, and he's, you know, financially backing you, even paying your rent. That's something that an employer would never have to do, you know. It's like above and beyond, if anything. So if, in my mind, if he's this massive bully that you paint him out to be, why would he go through all that trouble to, you know, ensure after you've left the job that you're going to be, you know, sorted out and not, you know, just out of the job?
Yeah, okay, so I'll totally expand upon this. So the thing that I'm gonna say is I don't want to take away anything from MrBeast, whether this be his videos or the fact that he isn't 100% a terrible guy. This is my time after working for MrBeast. It was different than my time working for MrBeast. I was surprised by what he offered in doing the show.
Right.
Yeah, 100%. So this is all true. He did do all of this stuff. And when in that video, it is true that everything in that video that I said is good, but this is, okay, and we both probably know that the one thing against me right now is me being called a clout chaser, yeah? The thing is that what I would call me being my biggest clout chaser moment would be me saying only good things about me working for him and trying to get on his good side. It literally, like, it's like people don't know that it's like people don't think I think this is going to be a huge uphill battle doing what I'm doing now. Right. The only like clout chasing I could possibly do, not expect to be like by this whole situation, would be me literally just like blowing smoke up his ass like I was doing in that video, saying only good things about him. Like, again, as I said, nobody wants to be on MrBeast's bad side in the community, whether that be for financial gain, for clout, to look good, like anything. Me clout chasing right before I went to Asia and started making videos. Not all of them are public, but the one I started making like videos of vlogs and stuff and like these cinematic videos, that was me clout chasing. So like I would look good. This is not what I would call clout chasing. Like clout doesn't pay the bills. Like this could my career, like I'm not like what it did to Nate, the last guy who's doing this. He got like blacklisted from people he was editing for.
Right.
I don't need any clout. It's not like I upload a lot. It's not like I tweet a lot. It's not like I upload like once every 6 months. What do I need clout for? I don't know. But so yeah, I did say like most of what I said in the video was true. The rent thing, it was true. While I didn't live there for as long as I could have, that doesn't matter at all. It was very gracious for him telling me to do it. It's the thought that counts in a situation like that, like 100%. So that was true. The pay was true. Granted, not what people think I would be getting paid, but that's whatever. It was a contract. I agreed to it. I didn't have to.
Yeah.
100%.
So what you're saying is what you've said in that video is mostly true, but then you're saying that you were blowing smoke up MrBeast's ass just for clout, kind of, to be on his good side.
Yeah, I will like literally say that 100%. Like,
and that now you're telling the truth.
That, and this is the truth. So that was like, I would say like 35% truth in that video, 65 truth being like 35% me just saying shit, you know.
Now, I understand the clout side of it, what you're saying, but even if I don't like a job I'm working for, say I worked, I don't know, say I worked in a restaurant.
Anything.
Yeah. I'm not going to tweet out how much I love it, because you don't have to. If you don't love it that much, you could just keep quiet about it and just get on with your job. And there's so many instances of you just really backing MrBeast. Like in the comment section of your video, for example, someone commented about saying that's very thoughtful and caring on their part. You replied, right, gotta love them. Someone commented, okay, still think Beast was good about it though. You didn't quit, but they seemed awesome about that. And you said, yeah, it was all good on each end. And then the final one, someone said that MrBeast is so kind. I wish he was my dad. And you said, he's a good guy for sure. Now, for me, YouTube comment section, especially like these intimate replies, that isn't really you. That's kind of, you don't need to smoke up anyone's ass because no one really sees them. They're not really on Twitter or on the public. It's kind of, I would assume that's just your genuine thought process at that time when you're replying.
Yeah, it's basically like a DM.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So for us as viewers, because I'm also, this situation is new for me too. There's so many instances of you really backing MrBeast, how much of a great guy he is. You've kind of described the rent and everything about how he's paid for your rent. There's like so much evidence against you, but you're coming against yourself. Do you understand what I'm saying? So,
no, I totally understand. So I'll expand upon it one thing at a time. The tweets. So the tweets, the best like analysis of that I heard was when Optimus, he was like, it's not like, and this is obviously like not shitting on me, he's like, you don't have the most clout in this team. What does it have to benefit from you if they said, hey, just you tweet out backing him up and then get like 50 likes, you know what I mean? Like that doesn't do anything. Yeah, no, what it was it'd be like me in a room or me and like my friend Eric in a room or some shit like that. And his mom would come in, and his mom again was just similar to Jimmy in the fact that I don't want to disrespect his mom, but she just wasn't good to me. I'll say that. So she'd come in the room and she like, I don't know if she meant to do this, but she'd come in and be like, hey, and this is just the Nate or the Fly Does YouTube example. She'd be like, hey, did you see that whole situation? And we'd be like, yeah, we saw it. Like, what's up? And she'd be like, that's crazy. Like, that's not good. Did you see all these tweets? And then we'd be like, yeah. And this would be, everyone's out would just be hanging out. None of the editors had clout or anything. It's a private conversation. And we'd be like, we saw this. Like, I don't know. I mean, everything they said in this 100% true. We can expand on that in a minute, but everything they said was totally true. And so then she's like, yeah, someone should like go back at him. Like she'd always call him this stubborn, rich white kid. And we'd be like, okay, well, we're all white, so I don't understand this, but I guess. Okay. Yeah, someone should just tweet out about it. Okay. And I'd be like, okay, I mean, I guess, like, would this make you happy? And she'd be like, yeah, I don't know. That's all I'm going to say about it. I'd be like, okay, sure. I guess I'll go tweet it. I don't really care. It has not, I'm not going to shit on him at the time. Be like, yeah, everything he said was true on Twitter, because then I'm obviously going to get fired right then and there. Yeah. I didn't need money. I mean, it was a job. Yeah. I'm under NDA, so I couldn't say anything at the time.
So you tweeted it because the mum basically influenced it?
Yeah, she totally influenced it, and she definitely didn't force me. I'll say that.
No.
Influenced it, and I was like, I might as well get on her good side. She's shitting me all the time anyway. To go to the comments, this was, sorry, I was talking for like 2 minutes. I was like, we were talking about, oh, okay, the intimacy of the comments on my video. The thing I would have to back up that is, honestly, it's like, at the time when I was doing this clout chase, again, I didn't have to reply to any comments. So I was like, I'm gonna just double down. At the time, I was like, I'm never gonna do what I'm doing now, and not for like moral integrity. I was just like, I honestly don't feel like going through this much effort. I mean, I'm not someone who does like this. I don't really care. I just kind of live my life, you know. I'm like in shit. So I was like, you know, I'll just double down. I'll give a nice comment. Again, if some of those comments were sarcastic, it doesn't matter because you can't tell tone of voice in a text. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, they don't seem to be sarcastic. Like I
know. That's what I'm saying.
Like
that's
genuine compliment. The way I'm looking at it is, if your employer was like, say, MrBeast, your employer, if he was so like, if he really just annoyed and aggravated you so much, like on all these different platforms and all these different bits of the internet, the videos on YouTube, the Twitter posts, the YouTube comment section, why like would you so consistently back up a guy who was so horrible to you? And I get the clout chasing thing, like I understand that argument.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's a strong enough argument against it, because you've done it so frequently. Like it's just everywhere I looked, I could see you complimenting the guy you've claimed has been a massive bully to you.
Yeah, 100%. Like I totally get that, and that's what I feel the biggest thing in this situation
like,
is, and that's what
you have to have. Do you have any evidence, like anything that you can just say that like this is proof like of what I was like? Or like anything from MrBeast DMing you, like did he just say it? I don't know, because to me right now, I'll tell you what it sounds like. It sounds like you guys, you were doing a job and MrBeast wasn't happy about what you were doing as an employer. Him wanting work done the way he wants it as an employer is his right, no?
Yeah, no, 100%. The only thing I'm saying, hold on, if you don't mind. So, yeah, 100%. So, there we go. So at a time where I would say something like, do you mind if I like dissect this week, kind of?
Yeah, let's go.
Super good. So when I was like mentally draining time in my life, this is specifically the time where I'd be like getting mind games played against me. Like the time where he'd be like, do more Zooms. I do Zooms, calls me retarded 100 times, and then tells me replaceable. The time where he busts down the door and is like, what you retard, you better get in that room or I swear to God. And I'm like, okay. And people don't believe it, even though it was like a 4-second walk away from like one room to the next. Obviously his mom heard it, but then just takes it aside because it's his son. And I don't think people will back me up that work there because of the situation and because no one's gonna risk their job and their livelihood for this. People have wives, people have, like it'd be like a Monday morning meeting, but instead of pep talk, it'd be like, I want you guys all to be replaceable. And this would be his mom, not him. Although he would call us replaceable, it wouldn't be like these Monday morning meetings of like oppressing everyone. The main part that I totally was doubling down on saying he's a good guy, because now, like, I'd be crazy to not see people's point of view. Like I totally did it, and it totally makes sense. But me doubling down on, because now it's like word of mouth, but it's like me and myself. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's the part. And while there are eyewitnesses and some that I may get to say something soon, but I can't because I've talked to the guys behind the scenes, and like I can't. Okay.
Can I ask you something? Because I've read out these tweets as well. I've gone through these.
Okay.
You're in the store right now. You're in the game.
Yeah, store gaming.
So I've heard that MrBeast helped you get into the store.
Yeah, he did totally help me get into the store.
So how did he help you get into the store?
So basically, when I was leaving, it was like one of my last days at the office. He was kind of just like, "Is there anything you need?" And I was like, "No, I don't have nothing really." It didn't even come to mind. And then again, MrBeast, wow, he was shitting me while I worked there, and this is my working experience. Once I was done working there, and he's like, "I can message the leader of SOAR. His name is Crude. I'll message him for you and be like, hey, I recommend this guy. Just like a few sentences saying, he's good at what he does. You should go here." And so he did that. And while that was definitely a recommendation to SOAR, and I believe it totally helped, I got into SOAR like a month or 2 or 3 later or some shit like that.
Well, that's obviously another amazing thing, like a great thing to do to help you get more work.
No doubt.
Organization, but like you in your tweet, you put that he didn't want people to succeed after he left, and that is a complete contradiction, like to what his actions you're claiming he would have done to what he has actually done, where he's helped you, because that wasn't public information that he helped you get into SOAR. I don't think many people know this, but
I bet I was surprised you.
Yeah.
Talked about it, if I even thought about it, keep going.
And like, I mean, so that it doesn't add up. Like, you're saying
No,
that he didn't want you to
100%.
succeed after he left, and now he's helping you get into one of the biggest
Yeah.
gaming organizations.
All I'm gonna say is I haven't being in SOAR. I just to thrive in a workplace, and I definitely. Okay, so when the whole Nate thing was going on, he would try exposing MrBeast or whatever. He would constantly say to other people on the team, like, "Ooh, I don't want Turner to try doing this too." And I know he thought that because I know that he knows he mistreated me when I worked there. And right now, I know he knows that everything I'm saying is right. And this is just me getting my chest, basically. But he'd be like, "I want Turner doing this too," because he knows he put me in that situation. And so to get me into SOAR, yes, but I definitely think that he specifically, while I worked there, because people have fan bases now who are editors there, did not want me to work there because didn't want me to work there. Didn't want me to have like an audience type. So yeah, he like gave me a silent recommendation to SOAR, but I also have had no monetary gain at all. Not like big or anything. That's kind of just like a title in my name. But again, I want that. That was appreciated, no doubt. And again, I'm going to keep saying this. MrBeast has done some good things, and he's definitely put good energy into the world. He's done tons of charitable efforts, and we all know this. And this isn't me or taking away from those moments whatsoever.
Would you say MrBeast has done more good things for you than negative?
It's definitely a thought that I'll have to think about for a second. But like, in the long term, I'm gonna say when he offered the house, whether they're very nice, he just offered it till the lease ended. The SOAR thing, that was cool. What was the other main point? Sorry, what the fuck was it?
Paying your rent.
Oh yeah, okay. The paying for after, all nice. But then this was months and months of exactly the shit I was describing, like mind games and being manipulative, and like literally.
Was that the reason you left?
What, the manipulative shit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, in the video I said it was mutual, but it kind of ended was not parallel to really how it ended. Right. Again, that was my biggest cloud chaser moment, being nice about everything, when it would have been smart if I was going to do this to just do it then. But then I didn't want to not be able to ever be promoted again by MrBeast. When I was going to Asia and I had sponsors, it was in my best interest to just say everything good. So I think he did more good things than bad. No, because every single day that I worked there up until the very end moving forward, good. But every single day that I worked there after like the first few days, the worst. Almost everyone at the team when I worked there at the time was considering leaving. It was like, I can't take this anymore. I think once I left, I'm gonna be honest, it probably got better. I have texts with like workers and me saying, "Hey, is it any better there once I left?" And they'd be like, Jimmy's still Jimmy, not good, but it's gotten a little better. And be like, "How's Sue?" which is his mom. Be like, "Oh, kind of sucks still." But so that's like the only.
Do you not have these texts?
I can look. This kind of just. Yeah. Also, I have texts.
Because you can realize you could put this all to bed yourself, because like I said, there's so much against you. Where, like, even on me, like what you're saying to me doesn't add up still. Where if you had a text from like a former employee showing that you two were going back and forth saying how much it sucked there, or like someone saying how it's improved, I don't know. Like these are things that you could do to prove it.
This is 100% true. Hold on, wait. Someone just asked if I'm done. Nah, give me a little, please. All right. So 100%. But I remember when I watched the Nate video and I was brought into the drama, and they were brought into the drama. I don't just want to bring one person in and then seem like I'm trying to hurt that one person. So I totally guess I could make this better for myself.
Blank their name out and then just show that there were texts between you and an employee.
All right, for sure. Hold on. I'm looking at text right now. So, for example, I don't know if this will work in this video because I don't know if this is lead to anything, but the conversation, let me know if this even means anything. Conversation I had with an employee, "Yo, dude, how's the new job?" This was when I wasn't working there. He goes, "Ayo, honestly, nothing has changed. Some things have even gotten worse, but they let me drive back and forth once a week, so that's why I'm still here." And then I said, "LMAO, I hope not too much worse. This is so stressful and good. It's good to get a break like that. We get a time. That's awesome." And then me just like recommending things in the area. And then he goes, Dude, it's so stressful. He's been shortening deadlines too, and it's been literally the worst. I feel so bad for Ethan though. He's a trooper. Talking about another editor named Ethan.
Can you cover that guy's name and put it to the camera so we can see?
Yeah, let me just screenshot it.
If you blank it as well, send it to my Twitter. I can get a better quality one of it.
And there's some above it that I just read. I can send that too.
Right.
And then I'll go back to the DMs.
I can see it right now. There's actual proof that you guys have been texting about this. But a job being stressful is just a job being stressful, you know?
No, and that's true, but like...
And shortening deadlines, maybe he just needs to have a productive week.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. That's why it's hard to talk about how stressful it was. Someone's girlfriend in the team now, girlfriend ended up messaging me, and she was like, I don't know if this... I mean, there are some things I probably just should have been like, here, boom, there you go. You know what I mean? So she was like, just want to say thank you for bringing the MrBeast workplace environment to the surface. I used to date blank, who now works there, and I've heard horror stories from what he's told me about how toxic that place is, and has been said to stuff. That English doesn't make sense, but you know what I'm saying. So like, he's told me horror stories about literally how toxic that place is and what has been said to him and stuff. I hope this brings into perspective what they really are.
Okay, and this is a private DM.
Yeah, even in the DM, it's like, please don't bring my name into this drama.
Could you do the same thing with her and send it to me?
100%. But then, gonna be kids who, no matter if I take someone's name out or no matter what, I screenshotted, faked, like anything. But like,
well, if it's been sent like if it's sent like a while ago, it's not like I don't know. Obviously it could be fake. It could be you sending it to yourself.
This is me right here. Like, fuck, my bad. Like taking this screenshot and not faking it.
Yeah, okay, I see it. While you send me this, so you've got some sort of evidence. I think
I just sent that.
Yeah, there's some evidence you've got here which obviously no one's seen yet, and I've never seen. So like that kind of stuff, having different kind of people chime in on that, I think is obviously it helps your case a little bit more. I personally know
sure.
Jimmy. I know him personally. To me, he's treated me nothing but nicely, but I don't work for him, right? So I don't know what he's like as a boss. I just want to ask you this. So we've got all this now. We've got a little bit of proof on your side. Obviously, there's still a lot against you to do in terms of what you said in the past about MrBeast, which
that's understandable.
Clout chasing. What do you want from this? What was the reason for bringing this up?
All right, literally, this is just, so obviously, MrBeast is like the golden boy of YouTube, like we all know this, and everyone in inner circle is like, he's so good. Wasn't it so great working for him? It wasn't your glory days, as he would say it was. And be like, no, this is just not it for me, at least. So this is literally just me tweeting my experience. When I say that I didn't think this would get so big, people are gonna say, how the fuck did you not think this would get so big? Granted, I just didn't put that much thought into, like, I didn't think Scarce would come back and make a video about just me.
Yeah.
So like, I didn't realize it'd be like this. I didn't know Optimus. I didn't know these people. I didn't think Drama Alert would pick it up like that. Granted, that doesn't excuse it, but I mean, hey, I just literally didn't ever even enter my mind. So I don't know, just to share my experience. Literally, that's it. This is easy. I mean, this isn't going to be a time where I start uploading and shit. This isn't me like looking to start a YouTube career. I just like, you know, I'm not going to start uploading now. You're not going to see videos from me so I can get YouTube views.
Right.
The one I'm gonna make, just literally the experience. If he gave me an apology via text, I'd be like, that'd be cool. You know, I would appreciate that rather than it just being like, nah, this never happened. Kind of like the same that would happen when I literally worked there anyway.
So you think he owes you an apology?
I would be appreciated. I don't think I'll get one.
No.
And not a backhanded apology where it'd be like, I'm sorry you f***ed away. Like, I would just appreciate the apology. Even if he tweets it, if he gives me an apology, like privately, I'm not gonna be like, see, I was right, I apologize. I'll just be like, cool, awesome, that's appreciated, heart to heart, you know what I'm saying? So I totally even understand believe me or not, I'm not like here to convince people. It's literally just me time. I have tweets. This probably isn't gonna do anything. It's like when you probably saw me tweeting like, and this shouldn't have been used as proof of literally anything, when I was like, here's me complaining about it a year ago, just so people know. Changing on my story, that's the only thing that I wanted to show it, because like this isn't new information. I've just been saying this for a year. That's all that was supposed to do. Granted, that's not hard evidence and proof, but then to continue, I've just been tweeting the same on my private Twitter, and again, this isn't hard evidence, but this is specifically about the time where he like busted down the door. I have me tweeting about the same exact day this happened. No, for sure, this is just me, the private Twitter.
Okay, right.
I have literally never been so annoyed than I am right now from being treated like garbage. Literally all day, Jesus Christ, I'm gonna die. I'm so mad, fuck. And then being yelled at this is
Can you
the same.
screenshot those and send it as well?
Yeah, 100%. So this is this.
Yeah.
I was being yelled at by my boss and being called retarded and being told to go out of here. After breaking point working here, and then whether this is joking or not, I was like, does anyone have a contact for Keemstar?
Because that was your private account, you felt you could vent on it without anyone like blowing it up in it.
Yeah, these are just friends I follow. I have like 30 followers. Just
Right. Okay. There's a bit of proof here that backs your story up, which is good. I think good for you.
Yeah.
One thing I would say is hard to believe someone who. It's hard to believe you, obviously, because of the stacks and stacks of evidence there was before I
yeah,
talked
and
to
what
you.
I was saying in the videos.
Before this interview, I came in definitely not believing you. I think I was pretty much nearly made up on not believing you. I think I'm leaving this interview. I don't believe you fully, but I think you have given us a few bits of evidence that align with your story. And I do think there could be something more to it. However, I would just take the time right now to say to MrBeast, if you're watching this and you think what he's saying is exaggerated, embellished, obviously feel free to come on here as well and have your say, like you've had your say as well, because I think, I don't know, man. I don't know how his story can end. I think MrBeast won't be able to ignore it after a while. He wants to, but I think these screenshots give you a bit more believability. It gives it more credibility, I think, a little bit more.
Yeah.
So,
did you just get those screenshots of the private Twitter?
Yes, I did. Yeah, there you go.
I
think some people, I think you'd be surprised. Some people may leave this of feeling like how I'm feeling, a little bit like just more. I'm
just in the middle more.
More in the middle, but more questioning. I think I want to see what happens after this all comes out and see what because there'll be more public pressure after all this stuff comes out on MrBeast. I think. For him to, I want him to make an actual statement about this. I feel like not getting involved in drama sometimes isn't the way. Sometimes you need to clear your name up and say what you got to say, rather than stay silent. I know he doesn't like drama that much, but I mean, if you're getting texts from people saying there's a lot more horror stories than this, maybe there has been some things going on in that workplace that aren't at all what people would think MrBeast is like. One thing that makes me believe you a little bit more is that you're very aware of the consequences if you were lying.
Yeah, I would be putting everything on the line. I definitely wouldn't have like tweets of me saying the exact same things now, the same day that I'm saying they happened. Like that lines up, and I get being skeptical still. It's a fishy situation. I hope people will just come in with an open mind.
Yeah. Okay, I feel like that's a good place to leave it. I appreciate you coming on, by the way, bro. Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Legend for taking your time out of the day. It's been going for over just under an hour. We're 2 minutes off an hour. But yeah, I appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much.
All right, peace out.
All right, see you later, man. Oh, fuck. What has gone on? So I'm gonna put all the screenshots on screen that he mentioned. Glad I asked and really pushed him for them, because especially the ones from his private Twitter, the dates, this is a while back, and he's describing the exact experience he's coming out with. I think we're gonna have to wait to see what MrBeast says, because at the start of this video, clearly I was leaning towards believing MrBeast over this guy. He's kind of, I'm not saying I believe him fully, because there's so much evidence against him, but the stuff he's giving me now, in my mind, I'm leaning towards that it's more, it was a workplace dispute, but he's claiming MrBeast bullied him, was like verbally just like abusive, was calling him all these names, like was deleting project files for no reason, like all his work. I mean, I want to throw this up in the air. I can't make a decision right now. I don't know. I want to throw this up in the air. I want to see what you guys think. I need to process this, and then I think when this comes out, MrBeast will have to say something. If MrBeast wants to come on here, talk about it, get his side across, like I said, I'm always open. I've already offered it to him. He said he wanted to stay out of drama. However, I kind of think he might need to after seeing these screenshots, and
Interesting. This is very interesting. If you enjoyed the video, please like, please subscribe down below. I think there'll be a part 2. I'm gonna make a part 2 to this. There has to be a part 2. Like the video, subscribe down below for part 2. We're gonna see if we get MrBeast on and really nip this in the bud. Because right now, it's gone from me really believing MrBeast to the scales are tipped. And there's a lot of evidence against this guy, but the stuff he's provided me, and I could imagine him, like anyone, you want to suck up to your boss and clout chase. He's a very influential, powerful guy. We'll see. To be continued. Jesus. What have we done?